Leading with Lineage.
California Reparations Task Force hearings.
Final report recommendations.
California Freedmen Affairs Agency, CAFA office.
The Fund for Reparations and Reparative Justice.
Free the land, eminent domain, unjust property taking return.
The Mass Media Group was there. Reparations Now, the documentary where it all began.
Released Juneteenth, 2023.
Now listen, if you can't handle the TR room, don't tune in.
Available to watch on Tubi TV and other streaming outlets. As always, thank you for the support. Please like, share, and subscribe to your number one source for reparations and news. Until next time, peace and reparations. What's up, family? What's up, family? Appreciate everyone. Thank you for showing up today. This is the Appreciation Show, and we do have some wonderful, my esteemed guests in the building. So I'm going to start with our good sister, Darlene. Hey, Darlene, what's going on?
What's going on, family? I'm so glad to be here today and every day that I get to be co-hosting the ETM show with you more and our other partner, Kim, that is not with us today. So glad to be here.
Shout out to Kim, though. She's recuperating from yesterday, so shout out to Kim. And then we also have our good sister, Sharice. How you doing, Sharice? What's going on with you?
Man, I just touched down from Sacramento, like literally left at 6:30 this morning. I'm just now getting home, but I'm feeling good despite what happened yesterday. I'm so glad for the invite. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have the one and only Reggie in the building, known as Double R. How you doing, brother?
Man, under the circumstances, not too good. But however, and yeah, shout out to everybody who pushed up there from the Merc up to Sacramento. Man, let's talk. How you?
Let's talk. Appreciate you, brother. So we're going to first, before we just have a conversation, we shouldn't be on here too long. I know that's what everybody says. Hey, we ain't gonna be on here too long, then you end up having a 3-hour show. But I hopefully don't think we're gonna be on here for 3 hours. Before we go,
I'll watch your time for you, Yamoya.
I appreciate that. Time watcher. Appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna play this clip and then give some recognition and some shout outs, and then we're gonna go ahead and have that conversation. All right, let's watch this clip. Here we go.
The speaker needs to bring the bills up now. These are their bills. They have their names on the bills. They killing their own bills because they scared of the government. Now, listen, they gonna see this and they gonna get mad at us. They killing their own bills, then they gonna get mad at us. They killing their own bills because they scared of the government. Okay? We don't care.
We need to
bring the goddamn bills up now.
The governor needs to understand that the world is watching California, and this is going to have a direct impact on your friend, Kamala Harris, who's running for president. This is going to have a direct impact. So pull up the bills now, vote on them, and sign them.
We have
We've
the votes.
been waiting for over 400 years.
Absolutely. So we do have one of the individuals who spoke up loud and proud with us as Sharice. But before we get into that, before we let the sister get on her wisdom, I want to give some shout outs and some recognitions because I think it's very important. I just want to first put this all in some context, because oftentimes when things happen to, especially us descendants here in the United States of America, sometimes we let other entities determine how we feel, right? Or a person feels, or I feel, or you feel of what circumstances may happen, especially yesterday when it comes to systems and systemic things that come upon us. I feel, my humble opinion, that we need to understand it, quickly internalize it, and then keep moving, because we can't let others determine our path. We have to determine it for us. So I just want to go through and give a shout out and some appreciations, because yesterday for me it was a victory, and we're going to go further in that conversation on why it was a victory yesterday. First and foremost, Ms. Kim Mims, part of the Emenda Mass Media Group and also Coalition for Just and Equitable California. Wonderful Ms. Kim Mims in the building. She received Advocate of the Year for her tireless dedication and effort. We honor and we salute you. All right, so let's go give her a big. All right, up next, boom. We have the wonderful Miss, the Queen herself, Darlene Crumity, who's actually in the building. She also received Advocate of the Year, and we'd like to thank her as well for her tireless dedication and effort. We honor and we salute you.
Is in the house.
And we got to give it up for our good brother Chris Lodgson, not in this building. Yeah, I don't know, he might come through or not. But if he doesn't and he eventually watches this, brother, we want to give you your props and your credit. We can't thank you enough, man, for your tireless dedication and your effort, and we honor and salute you. You also receive Advocate of the Year. And the reason that these three individuals receive Advocate of the Year is because they went to, I think pretty much, and you can confirm this, Darlene, every reparations task force. And not only every reparations task force, prior to the bill being signed, also known as AB 3121, and in addition to that, showed up to every single hearing that these bills went through during this process up till yesterday. So just want to give props and where props is due. So shout out to our good brother, Chris Lodgson. All right. And our good sister, Camila Moore. Yes, she is an attorney. Got to give her a shout out. Reparatory Justice Scholar of the Year. She was the head of the task force. She chaired the task force. And so many other things that people don't know that she does behind the scenes, out there stomping for lineage in the building. She might come through, I don't know today, but if not, Camila, we really appreciate you. Thank you very much for your tireless dedication and effort in this cause. We honor and we salute you. Salute. All right, journalist of the year goes to Antonio Harvey. For those that don't know, we've had Antonio on our platform quite a few times, but for those that don't know, Antonio he's a wonderful journalist. I actually had a chance to meet Antonio it's probably about 4 or 5 years ago when we started this journey in AB 3121, and just coming to get to know him, man, he's definitely, man, it's hard to express the words that this man, the time that he's put into writing and putting out this wonderful work, in particular for Black American descendants. Sometimes when you guys are reading stuff from like not CNN, but NBC News and MSNBC and ABC and Cal Matters, etc. A lot of those news information is coming from our good brother Antonio Harvey, right? A lot of that source and information that he's writing is coming through our good brother Antonio Harvey. I can't speak for him, so I don't know this exactly, but I know that Antonio has been a journalist. I know it's probably a good 15, 20 years, and I'm probably like not even doing him justice with that. He has worked for a newspaper called the Sacramento Observer for a number of years. Now he's transitioned and he works for the California Black Media. So I want to give a shout out to our good brother Antonio Ray Harvey. Salute to you, brother, Journalist of the Year. For your tireless dedication and effort, we honor and we salute you. All right, we have a couple more, and we actually do have him in the building, a good brother known as Double R, Reggie Romaine. I don't know what I have. I have Spirit of the Year, but actually it should be Inspirationalist of the Year. So that's my bad, my fault. But yes, he's actually received Inspirationalist of the Year. So shout out to a good brother, Reggie Romaine. I know he can speak for himself and will be speaking for himself because he is here. But we want to give Reggie a good props and salute to you, brother. I remember when Reggie first showed up, at least as far as I remember, when Reggie first showed up on the scene. It was at, I believe it was one of the task force hearings. It may have been Oakland. And when that brother came through, we was like, oh yeah, that brother's got it. That brother has the tenacity and the dedication. I mean, that spirit was there. So definitely want to give the brother a shout out, and got to give credit where credit is due, brother. We so appreciate you, man, for the work that you do and the energy that you put into it. As a matter of fact, before we get off, I need to put the right slide up. So it's actually supposed to be the Inspirationalist of the Year. But once again, brother, we really appreciate you for your tireless dedication and effort. We honor and we salute you.
Is in the house.
Tiffany Quarles. Now, the thing about Tiffany is she does so many things in the background that people don't know. She's making phone calls, out there pounding the pavement. I mean, making stuff happen. And I'm like, how did you get that done? And she's like, I just get it done. Don't worry about it. Let's make it happen. Let's get it done. So she does so much behind the scenes, and she's often not in the forefront of things. So I think it's very important that we give props and praises to those individuals that are behind the scene doing the great work. So we want to give love and respect to our good sister, Tiffany, out there for LEAP. Our good brothers down there in SoCal holding it down in LA. So we want to give a shout out to good sister Tiffany. Thank you for your dedication and effort. We honor and we definitely salute you, sister. Really appreciate everything you do and that you will continue to keep doing for lineage-based reparations. So she receives the Organizer of the Year. All right, and then we have one more. Ms. Raphael H. Plunkett. Now, Raphael, I believe I met Raphael, I want to say it might have been at the San Diego, California Reparations Task Force. Now, I think that's the first time I met her in person, but I think we were in meetings and so forth, and I heard Raphael. No, was that before that? I forget. There's so many things, but I also do remember meeting Raphael at a Juneteenth event, 2022, 21, 22, 23. I can't remember. Anyway, it was in Leimert Park, and I remember Raphael setting stuff up, and then she had some books donating for the kids, and so it was really cool what she was doing. But what really tripped me up, and I think all of us up when we first heard her speak, was how well she did at articulating and reading. And I was like, yo, you should be a voiceover person. I don't know when we're going to get back to it, but the California Reparations Task Force final report is read by volunteers through the Coalition for Just and Equitable California, CJEC. And I mean, her voice is amazing. And so when we heard her, we were just like, okay, I don't think nobody's going to top that one. So there's also a couple of readings that needed to be filled. And she just stepped up. She volunteered and was like, hey, whatever you got to do, let's do it. She read a chapter that was just insane. I was just like, you gonna read that? So she read that, even had her family volunteer to read, brought in some other organizations to help read. And man, she just does such a great job. So we so appreciate what she does, and just wanted to give her props and credit where credit is due. And we wish her and her family nothing but the best. So shout out to Raphael. Love you, respect you, and always we know you're going to keep on the grind. So she gets Reader of the Year to Raphael H. Plunkett for your tireless dedication and effort. We honor and we salute you. All right, family. So now that we got that out the way, I guess let's start with our good sister, Sharice. And Sharice, can you just kind of give us the rundown of like how that came about with you and Chris, that clip that I showed? And after that, if there's anything that else you want to talk about, please go ahead. But if you kind of want to express like how that came about, the environment, etc., the floor is yours, family. And thank you for showing up.
I appreciate it. Good afternoon, everyone. So before I got to Sacramento, one of my friends reached out to me. She was just, wanted to offer support. And she said, whatever you have to say to those people, you say it today. And that gave me the motivation, because I was going to kind of stay in the background. I was dressed business casual. I was trying to blend in with the rest of the folks that were at the Capitol. But I felt very led to speak and to speak up. And I did not expect that clip to be played anywhere or to go out. And it's out now. That's all I'm gonna say. It's out. As a matter of fact, when I was on my connecting flight, I opened Apple News and there was a headline from Fox News about the clip, and I was like, okay, wow. Even though we didn't get the bills that we wanted, we may have gotten more than that. We may have gotten the impact and the attention that we need for not just the bills, but for the cause of reparations across this country. And in maybe, I don't know, maybe even at the federal level, because tomorrow's a holiday and people are going to have time to mull over what happened. And I don't know if you all saw, but a report was out on the Shade Room, and the report that was out on the Shade Room about what happened was that the bills were blocked. It wasn't painted pretty. It wasn't flowery language. That's exactly what the headline said. So I think that works, that helps us.
I also want to shout out Umoya. You do a lot of behind the scenes work, and I don't know if you get the attention or credit that you deserve, but you are always on point with YouTube, the technical, recording everything, uplifting people, sending text messages to check on folks, keeping us connected. So you deserve your own award. I just want to shout you out for that. But everyone else who received an award today greatly deserve. You so on point with everyone's descriptions and what they brought to the movement. And just real quickly, I was part of a chapter of the movement in the past, and I wasn't a member of a chapter, and I haven't been one since. But it's worked out that me not being a member of a chapter or any particular organization, it has worked out very, very well. And I think it actually pushed me to dig my heels in more and say, I'm really going to work to get reparations. And it does not matter what happened in the past. All that matters is what we're pushing for the future. So I know you guys, they have seen some negative comments on social media about how we didn't have any success in what happened, et cetera, et cetera. And if a certain organization or group had been around, and some of those people are salty. But you know what they didn't do? They did not come back around because they were worried about egos. The same way those people at the Capitol were worried about. They were more worried about their ego than actually getting reparations. So I just really thank God that I'm here. I'm in this position. I have the flexibility, et cetera, and that you guys are who you are so that we can bring justice and attention to this cause. So that's it.
Well, Sharice, I remember when we I don't know if we officially met at that time in San Francisco, but I do remember when you made your speech, or your testimony, I should say, your public testimony, and you got plastered all over the newspapers, that famous shot. And ever since then, Sharice, I just want to say you've been a writer, you've been dedicated, and I just appreciate you, in the work that you're doing. As a matter of fact, I do recall that we did have a brief conversation about the Freedmen's Bureau, and then in addition to the Freedmen's Bureau, actually the Indian Bureau of Affairs. And I really really wasn't interested at that particular time to get into that, because I was like, well, what does it have to do with, I knew a little bit about it, about the Freedmen, but not too much. So when you brought it up, I was like, well, you know what? Let's dig into this a little bit more, just to kind of, see how that connection is. So I guess my question to you, Sharice, is like, one, what brought you into this reparation space? And two, why at the time, or still, are you focusing on the Indian Bureau's affair, and what does that have to do with actually freedmen or Black American descendants?
Sure. So I'll start kind of in the middle. How I got brought into the movement officially was Tiffany. She and I kind of grew up together. We went to the same church, same junior high, and she saw, I think maybe one day on social media, I might have been talking about reparations. And she said, hey, I'm part of this group. Are you interested? I said, sign me up. Right. But before that, I met Dr. Claudia Anderson when I was 16. And that was a long time ago. That was a long, long time ago, almost 30 years ago. Almost 30 years ago, I met Dr. Claudia Anderson. He came to my church, and I wasn't supposed to be there. My dad was supposed to be at the Black Labor White Wealth workshop. And my dad sent me as a 16-year-old. And it just blew my mind because, I had heard some things about the struggles and movements and reparations from my grandmother. But it didn't connect, and that kind of turned the light bulb on in my head. But when I connected with Tiffany, that just kind of took things to a different level. And we as a grassroots movement and organizers were kind of dialoguing on, well, what can we do to actually implement reparations. Like what would it look like? What does reparations look like? What is it? But also, how can it be administered? And for me, I'm looking at fairness and justness. How can it be done decent and in order? And I said, well, wait a minute, they had the Freedmen's Bureau. And that Freedmen's Bureau was for those who were formerly enslaved, those who were considered quote unquote contraband. Why don't we reestablish the Freedmen's Bureau? Matter of fact, I don't think you need, because it was a government agency, federal agency, I don't think you need to take it up to a vote, because at the time, HR 40 was still swirling around Congress. Sheila Jackson Lee had just reintroduced the bill, and it was gaining traction, but it wasn't sticking like it should. It wasn't moving like it should. So I said, wait a minute, why don't we just reestablish the Freedmen's Bureau? And again, we could do it by executive order. So I started to explore that. And I knew a bit about the Bureau of Indian Affairs, but I said, we already have the Bureau of Indian Affairs. It's already been built out, and it came after the Freedmen's Bureau. So to make people comfortable with the idea of giving Black folks back the ownership, possession, etc., that they had, our own autonomy, why not give us a bureau? And so I've always said, since at least maybe to 2018, you model the Freedmen's Bureau after the Bureau of Indian Affairs. I had different names for it at the time when I first introduced the concept, but I said, why did not just call it the Freedmen's Bureau? And I actually went and did some research about the Freedmen's Bureau, what branch it was housed under, etc. And it was under the executive branch. So I said, of course, that solidified it could be done by executive order. And that was the letter that I sent to President Biden, to the White House, to Flotus and POTUS last year. Please reestablish the Freedmen's Bureau by executive order. Here is the legal analysis. Here's why you can do it. You don't need Congress approval. You don't need congressional approval. And I sent that same letter to Newsom's office 2 weeks ago, encouraging him to establish the Freedmen's Affairs Agency in California. And I'm going to be honest, when I first heard the recommendation for CAFA, I wasn't on board, because I said this needs to be something that's done at the federal level. But the more I thought about it, and the more pushback I saw at the federal level for even just a study on reparations, I said, okay, this is going to be a groundswell thing, this reparations movement. And it's going to start popping up in different jurisdictions, and we're going to force the federal government to act, right? So I said, well, let me pivot. And what does the Freedmen's Bureau look like at the state level? Well, they have tribal agencies at the state level, but guess who has a tribal agency for non-federally recognized tribes? The state of California. I think we're the only one. We treat our non-federally recognized tribes the same way we treat federally recognized tribes. I'm not sure if other states do that. So why wouldn't California be the one? Because we are so creative in the way that we execute the law, the benefits we give to people who are traditionally marginalized, etc. And I know that might be a dog whistle for some of y'all, but that's what we do here. But the way that a state tribal agency, because we had a formal tribal agency here in California at one point, I think it's moved under the governor's office now. The way they interact with the Bureau of Indian Affairs, that's all you need to look at. And that's what I sent in the letter. And that's actually, Reggie John Sawyer is my representative. I voted for him. And I tried to reach out to his office on multiple occasions to meet with him while the task force was still in play before the sunset, to try to explain to him about CAFA, why we needed someone from the BIA, Bureau of Indian Affairs, to come and testify, because you guys have a recommendation, but you don't have any context. It's hard for people to conceptualize a Freedmen's Bureau. It's hard for people to conceptualize a Bureau of Indian Affairs and a state tribal agency if they don't have any context. So all we needed was someone to come and testify, and they refused. Reggie John Sawyer did come up to me during one of the hearings because he did some research, because I kept hollering about it. I would go to the mic and almost shake the mic. Hey, you need to look at this. You have the framework. Stop pushing back on CAFA. It's already there. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Because one thing about lawyers, we don't like to reinvent the wheel. We like to go with precedent. And again, making people comfortable with just the idea. Because if we can get them to give us a bureau, we can start to build out the bureau just like the BIA does. and start adding different departments. And we can run those reparation claims right through there, right? But if we would have had CAFA, that means they would have had to give us a check. Y'all know that, right? I think that's what some of this is about. If we had CAFA, they would have had to give us a check. When I sent my letter to the White House, again, I sent it to FLOTUS and POTUS. And I told FLOTUS, I know you're an educator. I know you're concerned about the book bans. This would relieve the book bans of African-American authors. And I got a response from her. I didn't get a response from the White House, got a response from FLOTUS. And the response was, President Biden wants to help all Americans. So that told me all I needed to know. They don't want us to get the money. This is, and I'm going to get on a spiritual tip. This is a spiritual battle that we're dealing with. Anti-Blackness is demonic. What we went up against yesterday was spiritual warfare. But again, I serve a just God. Okay. And I when I left there, I was a little discouraged, but I know what type of God I serve. And sure enough, like I said yesterday, this is probably going to impact the election. And baby, my phone is blowing up right now. Black Californians are mad. And what happened yesterday is probably a game changer for us. So don't be discouraged. I want to encourage you to keep the faith, be positive. Something good is going to come of this, even if it's an executive order from Biden himself or Newsom. Because baby, I can tell you right now, they're hitting them up on social media. They are dragging the Black Democrats in California right now for their failure and their obvious anti-Blackness. But it's going to be to our benefit. Don't you worry. That's all I got.
Well, I tell you what, Sharice, you know what? Here you go. That was fire. That was fire.
You want? Can I
Appreciate
jump in and
course,
just
darling,
tell
please.
Sharice she is appreciated, and WR, both of you for making this trip up to Sacramento. And I see Chris is in the house. I just kind of shout him out right now. We couldn't do none of this without everyone, and you guys are greatly appreciated because, you know, I'm an hour away from Sacramento, but for you guys to come up like that is just amazing, and we want to appreciate you too. So, More, can you give them a hand clap for me, please?
Man, we can definitely give them a hand clap. As a matter of fact, let's get one more. Definitely, family. Thank you for that, Darlene. Let's go to our good brother, Brother Reggie. Double R in the building, sir. If you want to talk about yesterday, cool. If not, if you just want to talk about something else, brother, it's all good, family. Whatever's on your mind, brother. So speak your speech.
Man, thank you, my king. Appreciate you, man. First of all, man, salute ETM Media Group. Man, you guys been doing the damn thing, covering all this, you know what I'm saying? And all the extras you do too, man. Just salute to y'all, man, because none of this would have been possible for us, you know what I'm saying, if y'all wouldn't have been our eyes and ears of certain situations. Not only that, giving us all the background and everything else, you know what I'm saying? So salute to ETM Media. You know what I'm saying? Y'all banging, man. I'm telling you, man, we was partying on there, man. I love that. The chat was nice, you know. I like the Black August on there. You know, we was getting it in. You know, it was a nice journey, man. I think though. But let me finish my shout out to Cherie, Sister Cherie. Salute. It was good seeing you. She the only one who beat me at one of the black one of our California reparations task force meeting. And I asked her, I said, I was here before you. How'd you get the ticket before me? She said, I got a hookup. So she cheated. She wasn't there before me, but she had a ticket before me. But it was good seeing that sister yesterday. I call her little Angela Davis. You know what I'm saying? She on fire. She do be on fire. I'm gonna give you your roses right now. Salute you, Queen. It was a good trip up there with y'all yesterday too. She was part of one of our activists in the caravan. I think we brought about 10 people up there, just us. You know what I'm saying? Coming. Let's see another salute. First of all, let me give a salute to Senator King Bradford, man. His work throughout this whole First of all, the study, being on the task force. I kind of was looking sideways at first on him and Sawyer, but now we see who the real Judas was. But salute to you, King Bradford, man, and all your hard work. We supported it, man. We came up, we was there for you. We just appreciate you doing it to the last day, to the last hour, to the last second. Salute. Salute to CJAC, man. To be a part of CJAC, man, is cool as a volunteer for this mobilized, organized team. Man, it's been a lot going on, sidebarring and all the way up to there. But, man, we got it. First of all, the 8031, salute to y'all, wasn't there. That got through. And but then the Senate, when we had to go through the Senate, that was a journey right there. I think we have 14 bills. I think at the end of the day, 12 of them was still hot as of yesterday. But salute to that. But I just got to say this, man. Our family members here, man, with CJAC and our family members at ETM and all the rest of everybody, man, and all the rest of the people with CORE, California Organizations for Reparations. Just hats off to everybody, man, who put their 2 cents in. So I think we did a great job. Of course, we got to get back to the basics, and now all of a sudden we got to go back to what we got to do next. Our strategy is just like I had on the back of my sweatshirt. No reparations, no vote. We got to target all these individuals from especially from the CLBC. Well, that's the CLWC. That was the white caucus right there, boy. They did the damn thing on us. Well, but first of all, man, we already know where the attack came from. It came from Newsom. At the end of the day, nobody on top of him. He the last of the chain command. So we know we got to blow his number up, blow his emails up. But this time we have to be angry. We came with the appreciation before. But first of all, we did pass this 1050, the SB 1050. Now, that's a blessing in disguise. Now, if y'all know, through this whole process of reparations, the first thing Double R wanted was this damn land. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to get our foot in the door, not just to get the stolen properties from the eminent domain, but to open up that 40 acres that they owe us. You know what I mean? So, but however, we do need an agency. The SB 1403 got shut down, but however, we can do it ourselves. That was one of our suggestions yesterday, and we was, just trying to bring up strategies and say where we go from here. We have to form our own agency. We can't wait on them. That 12 million obviously gone. We already know at the end of the day, somebody gonna get 6, the other one gonna get 6. You know what I mean? The Black Caucus, we know they getting 6 of it, and one of the other members from the California Reparation Task Force want to get that to another organization too. So, however, we just got to come up with a strategy of what I say to everybody, we got 2.7 million here in California blacks. If everybody give $1, we straight. You feel me? So. That's one of our strategies, and we do other things. We had a couple other suggestions with Nita and everybody was about how we can strategize, just to pull some money so we can get our own agencies, not wait on them, because we do need that American Freedom Affairs Agency, and I think we had that strength and that power to do it, because it was inside of that SB 1050. So we got to understand, without the SB 1403, we just got to understand we got to do our own 1403, and be strong at it. Put our own panel up there, start selecting our different counties, and we got time to do it. I think that'll be a strong foundation for this next movement on this journey. But as far as the no reparations, no vote, and don't pay no taxes either, while we keep paying taxes for these clowns and they ain't even voting, they ain't even putting our bills through. So but look, we have to understand our strategy gonna be straight. I mean, we just have to get these folks out of here that don't want us to have reparations, and I don't give a damn what color you is. The whole CLBC need to go. You know what I mean? We know Bradford ain't gonna be there. I don't know, Shirley Weber daughter. I don't know, is she suspect? All of them suspect to me. You only had 2 senators on there. All the rest, the other 10 was assembly members. So, we got to focus on getting them up out of here. They had a chance to give us what we needed. They think that they got us. Because we don't know whether they was promised a job or they got some money behind our back from Newsom, whatever it was. We know he the top dog. We gotta let him know that we see what you're doing. We're not stupid, and let's put our strength forward. And I yield back. Black Power.
Yeah, brother. Shout out to a good brother, Double R in the building. We're actually maybe next week, hopefully. I'm gonna go through and do a brief rundown of what kind of transpired from when the bills first got on to, in the legislation to what happened yesterday, and then probably do some other further research. There were some things that floated online with Isaac Bryan, and then we got to talk about, I think it was Brian Assaili, who's the Republican who tried to bring some of the bills to the floor, in particular SB 1331, I believe it was. I don't know about 1403, but we need to confirm that. And so we're going to go through that whole thing. I just didn't have time to prepare for that, but I wanted to just do this show because I think most importantly right now is that we need to get ourselves back up quickly, not mope and worry about what others are doing. We have to do this for ourselves. So right now, I'm going to give the floor to Miss Darlene. As Miss Darlene does, do what you need to do. If you want to talk about yesterday, cool. If not, it's up to you, sis.
Okay, well, thank you for that, Umoya. But also, I just want to shout out to Chris, Umoya, and Kim for them being the first reparations I ever met in person. I was seeing things online, came to Sacramento and saw them, and been with them ever since. And I just want to thank God I am in this space where I do have the time and the freedom to be wherever I am needed and wanted. So I just want to say that. And Umoya is like Tiffany, so much behind the scenes that, as Sharice said, that and Double R, that we don't know, but he is there. And sometimes I'll be like, Umoya, can you stop? Go get some rest, but he never does. So we appreciate you, Umoya. As far as yesterday, it was a disappointment, and you are correct, Kim. Chris and I have been to every assembly committee hearing, as well as Senate first and then assembly. And it was a disappointment that they betrayed us at the end. And I thought I was gonna wake up feeling kind of more than disappointed. I am disappointed, but I kind of woke up more with a fighting spirit, ready to go. I'm going to give myself today and tomorrow, because sometimes I don't even realize it is a holiday since I don't work, but I do understand Monday is a holiday. And I just want to get back at it. You know what I'm saying? I have some things I want to do here in my neighborhood in Fairfield, and also bringing my team back, Ark Bay area, so we can get back to winning this war. And also I want to shout out to Miss Queen Yasmin, who is in the chat, who is now a new member of Ark Bay area and just willing and ready to work with her. We have worked with her before in the past. With her group EPA for reparations. So I'm excited, and I'm just ready to get back to work, because they have demonstrated and showed their self. We know who they are. I do believe that it was a fatal mistake what the CLBC did and what Governor Newsom did. They tried to keep it undercover, but it got exposed, and it is all over Twitter and in several of the news outlets. And I've seen a couple of negative things, but on the whole, people just not buying it. They're not buying that negativity. People have attacked them for being negative, like, where were you? What did you do? And that it wasn't us. It was a betrayal of Governor Newsom and the CBOC. So that's why we're ready to go back at full attack. So, like I said, I'm just going to rest these next 2 days, and then I'm going to be ready. And I'm just glad to share this space with everyone. And Umoya, for you to have given out those awards yesterday was just amazing. I wish you would have made one for yourself, because you deserve it. So I'll just land right there. And hey, anybody hit me up, I'm ready to work.
Well, Darlene, I can't appreciate you enough. First of all, I appreciate the good words from my fellow advocates who are currently right now on this platform, and also people in the chat, and also people who are listening. And I just want to thank everyone who showed up for the task force hearings. who are getting the word out, who are spreading the word out about lineage-based reparations in your churches, in your mosques, on the streets, pulling up on places. This is about lineage, and I'm going to say this, and I usually don't talk about this, but I personally don't do this whole acronym thing because I know there's a lot of people who say that they're this, they're that, they're this, this. As you can see on the screen, it says lineage. Now you can call yourself whatever you want. That's up to you. Do whatever you need to do. By the end of the day, this is what we need to focus on, is lineage. Because that's what's going to take us over the top to get these reparations. And just like you, Darlene, like, it was a trip. Yesterday, I was feeling a little melancholy, a little, not super depressed, because it is what it is. You still got to breathe. But I was disappointed by any means yesterday. And so I thought I was going to get up like, oh man, I don't know how I'm going to feel. I got up refreshed, feeling good. And I don't know if that's the ancestors was like, look, dude, get up, bro. Get up. Keep moving. Because that's the one thing that we have to understand, and that everybody has to understand. Black, white, purple, pink, orange, green, yellow, whatever y'all is. Big, tall, short, skinny. Is that we have to think about those who were in bondage. And I think that's what made me so heated yesterday, is that you had individuals on that floor caca and kikiing. And it'd be very interesting if all of a sudden, and I'm just making stuff up now, hypothetically speaking, that all of a sudden some aliens came down. Let's just make some aliens come down, and they just went in that session and said, you know what, let's put all y'all in chains right now. And as a matter of fact, we're going to take everyone in here on this spaceship, let's call it a slave ship, and take you away. Take everybody up and away to this planet. You don't know where you're going to. And 4, 5, 6 generations from now, you don't even know who you are. And so I was also asked, I was talking to another individual, and they were like, well, why don't you, just focus on yourself, because this is hard. This is difficult. Black people don't, they don't appreciate this. And I said, well, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for all of us. And the person responded, well, I think you should focus on yourself. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. We have a journey to do. This is our calling. And so for me, that's why I do what I do, because I think about the humanity of our ancestors and what they have to go through. And I just wish that, especially with the CLBC, that they really understood that, and they really appreciated those people who built this country, our ancestors who built this country. And I think that was my biggest disappointment yesterday in the CLBC, is to know that regardless of what's happening with the governor or anything else that is going on with the world, or what the dominant society is going to think about it, who cares what they think about it? Who cares what the governor is going to say? You need to do your job, and you need to put those bills on the floor. So, hey, if you all want to be the scapegoat, that's totally up on you. That's on you. But what's that saying? For every action, there's a reaction. And they're going to have to lie in their own bed. So it is what it is, family. So I didn't want to, go on a super diatribe. I just wanted to go on here and just show appreciation for the family. You gonna say something, darling?
Yes, I am. I'm going to say when you were telling that story, it reminded me of a book by Derek Bell, the great late Derek Bell, the father of critical race theory. He has several books. The one that I am referencing is Faces at the Bottom of the Well, The Permanence of Racism. And this is a series of 9 stories. And he has his last story is called The Space Traders. And it was almost exactly what you were saying, that the spaceship came down and gave our people the chance to fight for your people or be sent away somewhere and change. And it was almost the same story. Just I was like, oh my God, Umar is just brilliant. He could have wrote that story himself. So it just reminded me of it immediately. That's just how two great minds think. Even though you and Derek Bill are worlds apart in age, he has passed away dearly, gone, I think in the late 1999 or something like that. So, and I also want to say that the fact that I was up there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday we couldn't get in. They were saying, "Oh, you had to have a pass." It just reminded me. What are they trying to? Everybody's all this big talk in the. We're not going back. But what were you trying to do? But put us back, saying that we needed a pass to go upstairs. That's what he kind of put me in the frame of mind of, even though that first day we did get a pass, but it was given to us. Yesterday it was not. They were just so afraid of what they thought that we might do, but we did it anyway out in the corner, and I just want to thank Nita. I see Miss Nita Watson in the chat. I mean, she led us in what do we want, reparations, when do we want it now, and her beautiful voice, and just gave us all the, what do they call that in song? Okay.
The chants.
The what?
Chants.
The chant. No, what they called it? I think, isn't it called something else?
Oh, the call and response.
Call and response. Yeah, she with her beautiful voice that she had, and I was just so energized and ready. We were there till midnight, and I didn't get home till about 2:30, but I woke right on up. Ready to go. But like I said, I'm gonna give myself today and tomorrow, and I'm gonna be out there, ready, pounding the streets of Fairfield, hitting up Miss Wilson, passing out some stuff right in front of her district office because she's got to go.
All right, family. Well, probably gonna wrap it up before we do introduction. We definitely want to read the comments. So let's go ahead and read the comments, and then all right, so I was on mute and I was like talking to myself, and I was just like, am I not saying anything? All right, I'm off mute. So let's go to the comments, and then we'll let our wonderful guests say a few words as they would love to say, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up here on this Appreciation Day. All right, so let's start with, let's see, First Fruits. Thank you, First Fruits, for showing up. I've seen you in the chat doing your thing last couple days, so shout out to you. Appreciate you. All glory and praise. Thank MTH, I don't know what that is, for those descendants of foundational Black Americans, freedmen of chattel slavery, who showed up yesterday at the state capitol assembly. No reparations, no vote. Yes, definitely. For our family from LA, the Bay Area, and Sacramento, there might have been some other people showing up, but we really appreciate you. We do have somebody else that we like to bring, AKA, to the stage, and his name is Mr. Marcus Champion. Hey, sir, how you doing, brother? If you can mute your mic.
What's going on, y'all?
What's going on, brother? Mr.
Hey,
Marcus Champ.
Marcus.
What's that? What's that? Not much, not much. Yeah, y'all know I drove back last night, so I'm kind of still kind of getting up, just hanging out with the family right now. I just wanted to take a couple minutes, come say what's up, y'all. Say what's up to y'all real quick.
Well, Marcus, man, brother, this is the appreciation show, so we got to give you some love to you and your family, your wonderful, beautiful family. I remember I think when we first physically met, I could be wrong, Marcus, so please forgive me in advance, but I think we had like a little community listening session down in LA. I think it was the first time. I know we communicated, a meeting, and so forth, but I do remember meeting Marcus, our good brother Marcus Champion, and his beautiful family. And I mean, this brother does so many things behind the scenes too, man. It was pivotal, especially in that language with AB 3121, and just a prolific brother, man. And we just appreciate you, brother, and everything that you do and that you stand for. And just always just direct, to the point, trying to get things done, resolved. Don't argue too much, but when you need to say something, you up in there saying something. But brother, we really appreciate you, and thank you for coming through, man, and showing up. Before you go, brother, can you just give us from your perspective what was going on yesterday in terms of the environment, and why you think they weren't letting people up in the hearing? What was going on with that?
Well, the environment, that was my first time really being in the Capitol, really just being in the Capitol period, because we went to the hearings in Sacramento and have been in different buildings around the Capitol, but never inside the Capitol building. So that was my first time in the rotunda and just seeing kind of business as usual. Chris said it was like that every day. And I know my wife works adjacent to politics too, so she's kind of seen that already, but that was my first time. And so the environment, it was just, I felt like the whole building as a whole just gave me a slimy vibe. I think I was telling Tiffany and Chad and Chris as the day was going on that, I've heard people tell me here, different family members in church, whatever, you should run for office, stuff like that. Like, I want no parts of that shit. Well, let me stop cussing. I want no parts of that stuff. After just seeing how they get down yesterday, it's just lobbyists all over the place, just, backroom deals being made, like just weirdo energy and weirdo vibe all over the place. So that's kind of how I felt the vibe. And then the CLBC just expanded on that by how they were acting, because there was a lot of talking. Some of y'all know, we talk to them personally, to the point where we have conversations with them over the phone, meetings with them on Zoom, and their energy was real different on Zoom and over the phone compared to how they were when they saw us live and in person. And just for the audience to know, we talked to, for example, Tina McKinnon on Thursday. And one thing she told us, and this has been an excuse that she's been giving to us the whole time, is that she really ain't trying to do nothing because I don't have busloads of people out here in the rotunda, in the foyer, in front of the governor's office, whatever. That's why I'm not going to do nothing transformative. Our pushback was, you have transformative legislation. You put the legislation forward, then the people are going to come. And so she said on Thursday, well, are y'all going to have 200 people out here? I don't think so, based on y'all track record. And so when she saw us in person, I saw her say in her mind, like, damn, they actually did it. Like, and she wouldn't even look at us for the most part. But just that energy shift from the meetings we have in the Zooms and over the phone to live and in person, it was very different, And so we know the story by this point with how they actually betrayed us in the long run. But yeah, just the overall vibe was just slimy. And then what was the second part to your question, Yamoy?
So I heard the security wasn't letting people in the hearing. So
Yeah.
the public in the hearing. So can you elaborate on that?
So we were talking to they had a rotation of a few different security guards, and eventually they had this black dude out there, and he was pretty cool. You know, he was chopping it up with us all the time. But he said the reason why they weren't really letting people into the gallery was, I guess, in January there was some Palestinian protesters, and that big round balcony in the rotunda, they were throwing stuff over the balcony and just causing a big disruption. And he said since January, they haven't really been letting a lot of people in like that. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what they told us. I think it was partially that. And I think it was partially also, as soon as the CLBC saw us live and direct, they were like, keep them out of the gallery. And the reality is, like, they tried to, obstruct us from really seeing the whole process play out. But we needed to be where we were because we went from just being advocates, showing up to give our energy to get this over the top, to actually being in the process. Like, we're talking with staff, we're talking to different people, we're passing strategy along. Like, we're operating in real time, trying to get this done. And that's the stuff a lot of folks at home, or a lot of folks who aren't here in California, they don't understand. Like, we weren't just, as the news portrays it, reparations advocates or protesters or anything like that. We were actually a part of the whole goings on, trying to get stuff done, talking to different people, relaying messages, again, communicating strategy. So, they obstructed us from getting in the gallery, but then they actually strengthened what we were trying to do because we were where we needed to be. And that wouldn't have happened had we gone to the gallery. So
amen.
Well, Marcus, here you go, brother. Yeah, and as far as the Capitol is concerned, it definitely has that colonizer feel to it. I ain't gonna front; it just has some vibes. Like, when you walk in there, you see a lot of, let's just call it what it is, because you see a lot of white pictures of white past governors up in there in the halls, and it just feels very what is it? I know they had the Union. What was the other? I try to forget what they are. The Confederates. Feels very Confederate in there. You know what I mean? Like, ugh.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, brother. I mean, thanks for coming, man. Thanks for showing up as usual. And as I said before, if you weren't grinding away, man, getting that language changed in the AB 3121, brother, we definitely wouldn't be here. So you are definitely part of that chain, man. That made it happen, brother. So salute to you, family.
Well, man, Yamoya, you, Kim, Darlene, Chris, Shanna, Josiah, our whole CJEC squad, whether it be Sacramento, Bay Area, LA, the volunteers. I talk about all the time, like, nothing, at least for me, nothing that we ever do is ever work or out of the way. Like, I rearrange my client schedule to get the stuff that we need to get done, because with y'all, it's never worked. Like, we truly have become a family over these last 5 years. And I just appreciate y'all. I appreciate ETM Media for streaming, for being on the ground, always keeping the public informed. And we all play our part, and I just love y'all, man. So yeah, no problem coming by. I got to get back to the squad, but man, I appreciate y'all too.
All right, brother. Peace out. Peace to your family, man. Much
Thank you,
respect,
Marcus.
brother.
All right, y'all.
Appreciate you so much. Bye-bye.
Salute, Marcus.
All right, family. Let's go through these comments real quick, and then we'll go ahead, let our good family, Sharice and Reggie, say what they need to say, and then we'll go get out of here. All right. So, Funny Face, hello to all American freedmen. Good day. Peace, peace. Good sister Monique, shout out. As a matter of fact, you know what we got to do. And a hand clap. Shout out to Monique. Monique's been a writer. I know. I think we met uh one time at a California Reparations Task Force. I know we've been communicating so much, obviously through meetings and so forth, and we had a chance to meet up yesterday too at the Capitol. So, sis, shout out to you for holding it down, sis. We really appreciate you. Raphael is awesome. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Am I right? Okay, here we go. Yes, Raphael is awesome, so important to the movement, and a woman of many talents. Absolutely. All right. Yep, their egos are the reason why they didn't show up yesterday, only to complain today. That's why we in the situation we're in today. Wake up, FBA Freedman family. No reparations, no vote. Absolutely. A good brother, Chris. What up, family? And congratulations for getting the Advocate of the Year. Well deserved, brother. Well deserved. Well deserved. Can't thank you enough, man, for your time and dedication. We held it down for the nation, Californians. Absolutely. Yes, yes. All right, let's keep going. Shout out to Miss Lady 309. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, at Mr. Bradford. Absolutely. As a good brother Reggie was saying, you got to give credit where credit is due. And our good brother Senator Bradford was holding it down this whole time. Like he was the lone person out there, man, just holding it down. Shout out to good brother Senator Bradford, double R big homie. Shout out to Yasmin, Queen Yasmin. Shout out to that sister in Palo Alto, East Palo Alto for reparations. Shout out. Love you much, sister. All right, here we go. They gotta go. I'm assuming, Monique, you're referring to none other than the CLBC. Shout out Aqua de la Noche. Hello, family. Hello. Don't give up. Absolutely. And to our good, beautiful bird voice, singing voice herself, Miss Nita in the big building. For sure. Good day, family. We love you. Appreciate you. She's always been down from day one. And as a matter of fact, you know what we got to do. Alrighty. Judicially affirmed. Let's see. ATM, COR, LEAP, BLM, LA, and LSD, USDA, FVA, and CJAC, and many more from the grassroots who are in attendance. Truly appreciate everyone. Shout out to ATM. Thank you. Judicially confirmed. We appreciate you too. Thank you very much. Y'all are so beautiful. Back at you. All right, here we go. Expose them. Yes, expose the truth. The truth will set you free. First fruits, like the sister just mentioned, this was a spiritual war. Thus, still now recovering, took a walk with the dog around the lake early today. Now just resting. My drive home yesterday was transformational. Wonderful. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. Literally woke up dancing. Absolutely. All right, we're almost getting through these. I could be wrong, but I believe Newsom is using strategy. I don't believe his position represents change. He has been a supporter from the beginning, but he knows he must move. Yeah, I mean, whatever situation that the governor is involved with, whatever information is leaked is not looking good. Caution in this space he's in. All right, speak, brother. All right. Shout out to RPSU2B. The CLBC Dems in California sabotage reparations while advancing funding legislation for other communities. It's unforgivable. Who needs GOP opposition when Dems abort their own constituents' interests? That's right, ATM. Even the civil rights movement started with a faithful few. In this ad space, we are the few. Yup. Dun. All right. I don't even need to say words for this beautiful sister, Shanna, in the building. Shout out to ARC Bay Area. I don't even say enough words. All I'm going to do is do this for this sister. Here we go. Shout out to our good sister, and she does a lot behind the scenes. So shout out to Shannon holding it down out in the Bay Area. Love you, sister. Peace to you. Thank you for showing up and being who you are. All right. Getting through these. Let's see. Man, shout out to our good brother Information Man Show holding it down in the building. Got to give you. I remember I met this. Real quick story. I remember I met this brother, man, out with our good brother, and I got to give this brother Kevin for reparations. Got to give our shout out brother Kevin for reparations. Oh man, I can't remember. It had to be like what, 3 years ago, maybe 3, and it was literally like 5 people who showed up, maybe 6 people showed up, but it didn't even matter, man. It was up at the Capitol, and we showed up, did what we needed to do. Said what we had to say, and as a matter of fact, for those who are familiar with Cash Gaines, we had a chance to interview with him. I know he has that saying 40 acres and I believe a Tesla or something like that. I know he was out there, and that's when I first met our good brother here, Information Man Show. And so have a chance, go subscribe to him. He brings great information, holds it down for the Black American descendants. So love you, brother. Thank you for showing it. Much appreciate you too, family. All right, peace and respect. All right, Nzinga, what up, family? We can't say enough about it. As a matter of fact, I remember, I think that's the first time I met Nzinga. Shout out to Nzinga. Thank you for showing up. Yeah, that was the first time I met Nzinga with the reparations rally that was there. 5 people, but hey, we was 5 people strong, and Nzinga was one of them. Shout out to Nzinga. She's always there. Appreciate you. Thank you, family. Hey, fam, let's go, CJ. All right, still recovering, but fired up watching you all during these few days. All right, the CLBC is just another branch of the National Black Caucus. Jim Claiborne, thus, they are all members of sororities, fraternities, plus pastors and preachers. They all took the Greek oath, the Pledge of Boule. Interesting. All right. Sometimes we don't understand the limitations of a political position until we get there. We have to learn how to penetrate that. We do. All righty. Very important statement. Please, family, don't let them use the race soldiers as a tool to divide us. When they come up to us using the threats of arrest, especially using sisters and brothers. All right. That's an old white supremacy tactic to message us. Okay. Some more. All righty. Shout out to our good sister and Dr. Ashley Adams. All right. Wonderful professor herself, holding it down in the Bay Area at Mills College. She puts in great work for the community. Love and respect you. Thank you, Moy and ETM, for keeping us informed. Keep moving forward. We really appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right, so I think that is it. So yes, family, before we go, let's give the floor to our good brother Double R, then we'll go to Sharice, then we'll go to Darlene, and then we will close out.
Thank you, my brother. Yeah, man. Thanks for the award too, man. The Inspirationalist of the Year. Actually, you gave me 2. The Spirit of the Year too. I'll take a vote. but I appreciate the award, man, for just coming on. And yeah, we did meet in Oakland the first time I met you, man, at the first one. And yeah, y'all saw my fire. But I think y'all got me in this year with C-Jack as being a volunteer for the mobilized, organized team, and it's been a ball, man. Legends, appreciate y'all. But however, man, let's go to just a couple things. The CLBC should be treated just like the NAACP. We don't care about y'all no more. We can't support y'all no more. Y'all had a chance to show some support. Now we know everybody on that list. We should target them. Like I said, no reparations, no vote. And I take this, if anybody listening to out the state of California, let's just vote for Cornel West. How about that? Everybody vote for Cornel West. He was the only one who was speaking about reparations. I think they'll say, even though that we didn't vote for the Republicans and they're gonna think we wasted our vote, but I don't think it'll be a waste. I think that strategy would show that one person who talked about reparations, that's who we're supposed to be voting on. Let's just get intact of that, because we can't be going Democrats and Republicans and 160 years, 159 years, they ain't did nothing for us. So let's stop voting for these Democrats and Republicans. And also, we got to keep our own independent party going. I started the 1619 reparations party. If we got more, we can make a pack or whatever. But we got to just be strong at our own party. And I think that they can get an idea that this was the final draw. We already know we have black faces, and they showed off again. Reginald Joy Sawyer on down. The only one black face that I trust with Senator Bradford, King Bradford. So let's just get more like that, more like him up in there. And I yield.
Appreciate you, brother. Sharice?
Can you guys hear me? I'm in transition.
Yes,
Okay,
we can hear you.
great. So I just want to say, Black people are not a monolith, right? And I'm gonna connect what you said earlier, Yamoya. I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. Matter of fact, I'm a financial member and active member. Matter of fact, I'm headed to go be with the Greeks right now. And guess what? Senator Bradford is a member of Phi Beta Sigma. So just because someone has a comma behind their name or an affiliation, we can't put each other in the same box. The reason I'm bringing it up is, Moya, you talked about labels and letters and how they don't mean anything when we're talking about this space that we're in. And when the issue came up last year with the Census Bureau and how folks wanted that, and the Census Bureau tried to say, oh, well, the people couldn't decide on one name. And what I told them is, again, taking this back to the Bureau of Indian Affairs, you allow the Native Americans to tribalize and identify themselves how they want to. And they're slow to recognize different tribes and give them different, and the names that they want. But everybody don't have the same name. But guess what they all check on the census? Native American. So it should not matter what letters that we are using, right? We are all after the same thing. This is about lineage-based reparations. I want to encourage you to, just because somebody has something, they don't have something, doesn't mean that one person is better than anyone else. Because once these checks hit, once these reparations hit, that check gonna be for all of us, right? So I just want you all to keep that in mind, but also be encouraged. Don't be unapologetic about what we're asking for. Do not be afraid. Who cares what these politicians' political positions are? They work for us. We pay their salaries. So be unapologetic. Just like the Venezuelans, some of them who are here illegally going to protest at the capital of where they live because they want some old free money. We need to be just as unapologetic, unashamed, unabashed. And that is how I go forth as a woman of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Unashamed about my lineage, that I'm a descendant of slave, and that I want reparations and liberation for my people. And I enjoyed this space, and I hope to see you guys again real soon.
There you go, Miss Darlene. I think you might have to mute your mic, Darlene, or unmute it.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't. My pointer on my trackball wasn't running. Had to get it together. But I just want to shout out to Marcus for spending time away from his family and giving his encouragement. He is always there for us. Sharice and Double R, can't thank you enough. It was great seeing both of you guys yesterday. Great to see Dr. Ashley Adams in the chat. So good always to see her name and what she's doing. And I just want to, echo Sharice's last words, that we have to, stand firm and unabashedly do not be embarrassed or ashamed. It is our right to fight for what is due us. So I just want to see everybody in the battlefield and everyone take care of themselves.
First fruits. Much respect and honor to those who made it to Sac Town, especially those who traveled long distances. Then politicians didn't think Black folks would show up, thanks to the members of CJEC and ETM Media. See, one thing that people must understand is that people underestimate Black American descendants, and they shouldn't do that. That's wrong to do, because you just never know. You just never know. That's all I have to say. You just never know. So, family, we really appreciate you.
Excuse me,
Yes, ma'am.
Yamora, can I say
Yes.
one other thing? Something to
Of course.
Double R. I've always stand 10 toes down, and because you are an American citizen, you have a right to vote for whoever you want to. But I just wanted to let everyone know, and then, excuse me if I am mispronouncing her name. Cornell West is running mate, Dr. Melinda Abdullah. She has been following us. She's tweeted out several times about what was going on here in California. So, you know, what we're doing here, everyone is watching. So I wanted to give a shout out to her for watching us.
Absolutely. All right. Well, on that note, once again, thank you very much. Thank you for everybody for showing up, putting your stuff in the chat. And we're not done. You know, we're just starting over. We are absolutely not done. So thanks again, Reggie, for showing up, Double R, Sharice for showing up, and Marcus showing up, Darlene, the whole CJEC family, ETM Media Group, all the Black American Descendant family, American Freeman family, whatever y'all call yourself, ADOS, FBA, B1, DOAS. I'm sure I'm missing an acronym or two here or there, but we do appreciate you and what you do. Okay. On that note, family, once again, you take care of yourself, you and your family, and we will see you next time. And probably on the next show, we'll actually once again kind of dig a little deeper into what happened yesterday and maybe go over some legislation or possibilities that might happen. All righty. On the note, love y'all to life, and we out, family. Peace and reparations. Leading with lineage.
California Reparations Task Force hearings.
Final report recommendations.
California Freedmen Affairs Agency, CAFA office.
The Fund for Reparations and Reparative Justice.
Free the land, eminent domain, unjust property taking return.
The Mass Media Group was there. Reparations Now, the documentary where it all began.
Released Juneteenth, 2023.
Now listen, if you can't handle the TR Room, don't tune in.
Available to watch on Tubi TV and other streaming outlets. As always, thank you for the support. Please like, share, and subscribe to your #1 source for reparations and news. Until next time, peace and reparations.